Hi, my name is Candice Marley Conner, children's author and officer in the Mobile Writers Guild. I'm so excited to be here and share with you a tidbit of my short story, Black Apple Harvest, found in the Mobile Writers Guild latest spectacular anthology, Halloween Pieces. This season's anthology has so many local talented writers, playwrights, and poets that I hope you're able to watch and read them all. And special thanks to the Mobile Public Library for allowing the Mobile Writers Guild to share our writing. And now on to my short story. At first, she thought the envelope had been put in the wrong mailbox slot. She never received anything on such nice, thick paper. But no, when she turned it over, her name stood out in elegant script. Marjorie O'Brien. Perhaps it was an invitation to some university honor society. Maybe an old high school acquaintance getting married. She carried it outside her apartment complex's mail center, savoring the anticipation of the unknown for a moment longer. A fancy letter opener would have been better suited to break the wax seal than the cheap ballpoint she used instead. Marjorie lifted the flap. The scent of apples filled the air. Her breath caught the smell reminding her of the gnarled fruit hanging off the trees on the side of the mountain in Virginia, of bonfires and crisp autumn air. She hadn't been there in years. Not since. She cleared her throat, her gaze darting around as if she had stumbled and wondered who'd seen. The envelope in her hand contained an invitation, but not to an honor society or a wedding, to an All Hallows Eve party at the home of someone named Pomona. Marjorie didn't know anyone by that name. Surely its uniqueness would have stood out in her memory. There was a Mona in one of her graduate classes. Perhaps it was the same person. So elegant an invite did call for the full use of a name. But Marjorie didn't know her all that well. Why would she have been invited? Maybe other students would be there, but this wasn't like elementary school where you had to invite the whole class, even the quiet girl who sat on the front row. The invitation said it was for a costume party. Marjorie liked the freedom of being someone else, so maybe she'd go. Just for a bit. She could leave whenever she needed to. It's not like she had anything else going on Halloween night besides handing out candy to the children in her apartment complex. She could go as Hermione Granger after she drank the Polyjuice potion. That way she could wear a cloak and a cat mask. Marjorie grew excited in spite of herself. The invitation had become a tiny bit of future to look forward to. Marjorie gasped when her Uber driver pulled into a circular drive in front of a columned mansion. She drove through Mobile's Spring Hill area often enough, but never had a reason to stop in. Definitely never had an invitation. Who is this Pomona? Perhaps the society wife of one of South's donors? She adjusted her furry mask and rang the bell. A demi-masked doorman greeted her and offered to take her cloak. It's part of the costume, she apologized. Gilded mirrors and paintings of Mount Olympus and the Parthenon in its glory days lined the foyer. She poked her head in different rooms. The first was full of superheroes. Not her speed. The next, sexy kittens and nurses. Marjorie shuddered as she continued to the ballroom. A fire burned brightly in the massive fireplace, but she was oddly comfortable, although the outside humidity had made her question the expedience of a cloak. A tuxedoed server handed her a glass of champagne. Nice cloak, a vampire said. It has pockets, Marjorie explained. Meow, purred a Mungo Jerry in a cat bodysuit. Polyjuice potion good and bad, Marjorie clarified. She reached the gilt-papered wall and leaned against it, content to watch the dancing, conversing guests. A copse of dryads planted themselves nearby. The one closest to Marjorie gave her a friendly nod. Marjorie smiled back. Hello, do you know our hostess? The tree nymph pointed to a lady in the middle of the great room. Her brunette hair was piled elegantly on top of her head, and she wore an equally elaborate toga. Pomona, goddess of the harvest. Fitting for a Samhain celebration, don't you think? Marjorie nodded. How do you know her, if you don't mind my asking? Maybe association would help jumpstart her memory, because this Pomona was not the Mona from her master's program. The nymph laughed. We were just talking about that. Of the four of us, not one of us knows her. The other trees nodded their boughs. Curiouser and curiouser, Marjorie murmured. We fell down a rabbit hole the moment we got here, agreed the green girl. A muscled demigod wheeled a large wooden tub in front of the fireplace. Pomona and her entourage immediately went toward it. What's that? Asked one of the dryads. It looks like apple bobbing, responded another. Pomona turned to face the room. The entire expanse hushed. Welcome all, the goddess beamed. Her voice bubbled like the champagne in Marjorie's flute, like a sun-ripened grape ready to burst its skin. Marjorie felt dizzy. How many glasses had she drunk? Pluck an apple for your future, the hostess continued, and the peel will show your fate. Oddly, everyone complied. Laughter and glasses still tinkled, but all lined up to see their future. Marjorie went cold and grasped her cloak more firmly about her. Surely we don't have to participate. The dryad looked at her puzzled. Well, of course you do. Why else did you come? And that's where I'll end my reading. To read more and to check out the local talented anthology contributors, be sure to come to our signing at the Haunted Bookshop during Downtown's Art Walk October 9th. Thanks for watching and happy Halloween!